What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Voice Visions. I am Voice of G, but you already knew that. This is Lazy Eye. Say what's up to the people, man.
It's your boy Lazy Eye coming hot from Kava, boy. You already know.
What are you drinking, actually?
This is actually, it's like a peach ginger tea.
Oh, nice.
With extract of I think golden kratom.
Golden kratom?
Yeah.
Is that a body part? Like, I don't know. And I'm having some hot matcha tea. Yes, very boring.
Super healthy.
But super healthy.
Right,
yeah. So, I guess we could start from the very beginning, right?
My birth?
Not that, not that early, unless you want to, if you remember anything. But I was gonna start in high school because I didn't know you as well as obviously I do now in high school. But I knew you were in the band.
Yeah, that was my
yeah,
thing.
Definitely had some band experience.
That was my thing, being in the marching band over there.
Awesome.
I mean, and we didn't really like kick it off until after high school, right?
Oh no, yeah, I was a late bloomer too, in my own music and my own experience too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely, you know, we've done music together too before.
Yeah, we have.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, we have.
But
fun fact. My first two beats that I ever sold were to.
Oh, that's right.
Were to G. The first two beats I ever sold. Great Trees.
And the first one.
What was the other one? It was the saxophone one.
Yes. Yeah.
What was that track called?
Oh man, and I wrote it down, and I'm gonna cheat here because I wrote stuff down.
Oh, you're prepared.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta prepare.
This man's professional. He's ready.
I'm getting exposed. My notes are being exposed. So it was actually Cold Ramen.
Cold Ramen. That's the sax track.
And the song that I did was called Habits and Contradictions. I kind of mashed them up together. But so you started, I think. So in the band, you were part of the drum line.
Yeah.
Did you play any other instruments at that time?
Bro.
Now you play a couple different instruments.
Yeah. Now I play a few different things, but the way I started, man. I remember it was in 8th grade. Did you go to Kinloch?
No, I didn't.
You weren't a Kinloch kid? You were a Ponce kid?
Explorer, yeah.
In 8th grade in Kinloch, bro, I had no idea what the fuck I wanted to do. Wait, can I curse on this?
That's absolutely. You're free to go.
Sorry, I have a potty mouth.
Mark Zuckerberg hasn't taken us down yet, so.
Okay, good.
You're good.
So, and like around 8th grade, when it was time like to figure out what we were gonna do for high school, you know, they put you in like your academies and shit. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do, so I was like, you know what, man? I think I want to do music. Like on a whim, like I gotta figure something out now, and everything else sounded like shit. So I went up to the dude signing us up, and I was like, he was like the band director and shit. I was like, I think I want to do music. He was like, yeah. What do you want to do? And I was like, I either want to do drums or guitar. And he was like, well, we need more drummers. You're gonna do drums. And I was like, well, there it is. So they put me in this percussion class, which is like beginner percussion. Like I had no experience. I didn't read music, none of that. And my freshman year, I did that class, man, and actually immediately the moment they gave me like drumsticks and like a little pad, like I wasn't like great obviously, but I definitely had a knack for it. Like it came to me like easier than a lot of my other classmates. So I was like, damn, I was really into that shit, and I started to stay after school, and I would just watch the drum line play. I would literally just stay to watch them rehearse, and I was like, damn, this is cool. And then I watched Drumline in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So that's when I was sold. I was like, I want to be in this shit. So my sophomore year, I auditioned, and I started playing bass, the bass drum. Boom, my tiny ass. I had like the second biggest drum.
Oh my god.
And it looked funny as fuck, like a big ass drum and like little skinny 10th grade me.
Dude.
And I'm just like beam. But I had a great time, bro. And then moving forward to junior year, I really wanted to play the drums that like they're called tenors or quads.
Okay.
It has 5 drums actually, like, you know, 5 different drums, and that's the one that I was mostly like drawn to, and the one that I really like, you know, tried hard in, because I was playing in the marching band at Gables, and then also I auditioned for this thing called it's like a indoor percussion, and it's basically it's like a marching band, but just solely made out of it's just a big ass drum line, and you do like marching band shows inside stadiums.
Your whole life is the movie Drumline. Like
that was my shit, bro. That was my shit.
That's awesome.
And I still can't read music, bro. But I would be like, yo, play it, and I gotta play it back for you. So that was really my whole thing. Like I was technically capable, but I wasn't. I didn't have like the reading. Like and to be truthful, like no me importaba. I didn't really care about reading because I can just I can just catch somebody else playing it and I can run it back. You feel me?
Okay.
So I was playing in the drumline at Gables my junior year, and I was playing at FIU. I was 16 playing at FIU with the indoor line. I was the youngest kid there.
That's awesome.
And I was playing the quads, and we went all the way to states and shit, bro. That was to me was definitely one of the funnest things I did, bro. We would have like 8-hour rehearsal days at FIU, like in the fucking FIU stadium, like with them heavy ass drums on. Let me tell you, bro, if you want a calf workout, a calf leg workout, you gotta do that, but also you'll probably end up with lower back problems. So that was my shit. And then when I went back to Gables, that was the summer of senior to junior to senior year.
Okay.
Right. When I showed up senior year for band camp in August where it starts, bro, like I had crazy chops. Like I was, because I just had so much experience now.
Right.
So I was killing it then. But then I ended up quitting the band that year because I had a bunch of differences with like,
just life
in general. I wasn't feeling it, and I definitely wasn't feeling school at the time because I dropped out my senior year too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm a fucking high school dropout, bro.
I didn't know that. All this time I'm like, yo, that's it. We got another one repping class of 2013.
I mean, I still say I graduated from Gables
on the low
because I dropped out. I think February, and we graduated in. No, I dropped out in April, and we graduated in June.
Yeah.
So I still.
So it's right there.
My name, when I went to graduation for Jen, I was dating her at the time. When I went to graduation to watch everybody walk, dude, my name was in the fucking like pamphlet. I was like, this is bananas. Like I can't believe it. But yeah, so I mean, I did music basically most of high school, but it was all drums.
Okay.
All drums. Okay. Next question.
Next question. So, your Instagram bio says multi-genre producer, artist, obviously singer, songwriter.
I didn't include that there, but
well, I was
basically
saying, like, I checked out I know you, right? But I was like, let me actually sit down and listen to his
I saw that you gave me 40 plays.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I mean, getting back to that, it should have been more. But
fuck
I was like
80.
dude, this guy, he produces, he sings. You've collabed now with Roger Songbird on a collab album.
Now he goes by Christian Taylor. If I'm not mistaken, he had like a full change, man. Like
okay.
He's taking a different road now,
Hey, the road that he was on wasn't too half bad.
Man,
I thought it had potential.
That cat, yo, this goes out to you, Raj. One of the biggest inspirations that I know, man. That dude, he's so fucking creative. He's so quick with it. His flow, his voice. I swear to God, I tell him, I don't know how you haven't made it big, bro. Because to me,
he has a big sound.
He has a crazy sound, bro. And he does shit himself, bro. Like, I mean, he'll cop the beats, but he could also make a beat. And there's something about his music that like I'm like, damn, it's very much him. You get me? Like undisputable, and the quality's there, and he's good. But now his shit is equally good, but now he's taking just like a different approach.
Yeah.
Right, he's changing a little bit his style, but nevertheless, he's great, man. He's great at what he does, and he helped me a lot to grow as a musician myself. Yeah.
I would say like the first 2 EPs you dropped in 2019, listening to those, then listening, obviously some of the production is on that album, right? Like 1995, and you have some other songs on there as well from those EPs. But I felt like I was gonna say that those 2 first projects kind of pushed you and helped develop your sound enough where you could collab with someone else entirely different. 2 entirely different people coming together and making.
Bro, you wanna look? Let me. This is a great story, and I love to tell it. How Gene Blue like my first real on all platforms project, which is a collab album between me and at the time Roger Songbird.
Right.
So I know Roger when, I mean, let me backtrack a little bit. When the album was made, me and him had never met in person. We had never met in person, and I know him because he's dating, now he's engaged to somebody that I know, right? And she used to share his music, and I liked it, bro. I liked his music a lot. I was like, this shit is fucking weird to some extent, but I like it. It's some shit that I will bump in the car. And I reached out to him, bro. And it took a couple attempts. Attempts before we actually finally like said, let's fucking do it.
Right.
And it was actually quarantine that did that. We went out to Tennessee with his family. I mean, and I was still here. I wasn't really working at the time, and he went through my catalog, and I was like, bro, pick all the songs you want, because not gonna lie, I got tired, bro, of sending like all sorts of rappers, like of sending them my beats and then them never writing not even the fucking 8-bar phrase. I was like, bro, then I don't want to send you shit if you're not gonna do anything. But him, I told him, pick whatever song you want, bro, and I'll send it to you, and you write to them. And dog, I think I sent him like 15, 16 tracks. And if I shit you not, within like 2 or 3 days, he sent me back all those songs completely done with the layers, with the fucking ad-libs, and he was like, okay, these are it. And bro, I didn't have to make him re-record a single thing.
Wow.
So everything that you hear on Gene Blue are his original takes that he recorded in Tennessee and he sent to me. Okay. And then it really got down to it because I had to mix all that shit, and I had no experience really mixing. Like, bro, for one song he sent me like almost 40 stems for one song.
Oh my God.
And like in any individual section he would have like 9 voices at a time, and I was like, what the fuck?
He changes voices, he changes rhythm.
Yeah, and he's so versatile with his voice, like what he can do with it. So I had to like fucking have to figure that shit out. But the fact that we did that album without ever meeting, you know, and through the process of that album, I can tell you that we became like great homies. Okay. You know, because like I really like that project. That whole project to me is great. Obviously it's my first project, but it was. I still play that shit, and I'm like, woof, this shit slaps.
I was playing it this whole week.
What's your favorite song?
So and I had to write this down. So I have a couple from that album. So like I was gonna say 1995. That's actually like
1985 hit. Our version is it's Queen.
Yes.
Queen.
Yes.
I was super reluctant about adding lyrics to that song.
Yeah.
But I liked what he did, so I was like, fuck it. But I think I will, Roger, if you're listening, bro, I will one day release it as just the instrumental.
Right.
But ours is the one.
Like the lyric in that song, it says, she's the queen of the night.
Yeah.
Like it reminded me of ABBA. Like,
of ABBA?
Dancing Queen. Like.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know, I just connected that. But the actual, I guess, favorite would be Usual Suspects. And then you added some vocals, and so it starts with a Jerry Springer episode.
How did you know that was Jerry Springer?
Well, I grew up watching Jerry Springer, like, you know, after watching Pokemon or whatever was on WB at the time.
Jerry Springer would come on, and then you'd be like, ooh.
You just see, like...
As a kid, you were like, oh, I'm gonna watch this.
Oh, man. It starts out, with that, with, like, this girl, like, saying, oh, I feel like you're cheating on me, this and that, you know.
Yeah.
And then the whole song is about you reassuring that relationship, like, hey, I'm right there for you.
Absolutely, you know? that is it. You hit the nail on the head. And at the time, I wrote that song. I wrote that song basically for my girlfriend at the time.
Oh, okay.
We had our little issues or whatever, and you know, we never got over, like, there was always like a trust issue. You know, and sometimes she would like just kind of like I would grab my phone. I don't want to touch yours because you're recording, but like pretend like you're there, bro, and I would like grab my phone because somebody would text me, bro, and it got like one day I specifically felt it, like I was like, yo, you don't have to turn around every time I grab my phone, cause you know, and like not to diss or anything, and I was like, I'm gonna write a song about this shit, like and I think that she got the idea that I would write like a disrespectful track.
Oh,
But
man.
I was like, I'm not gonna do that. That's not me. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not like, because I can still understand why you feel the way you do,
Right.
but I'm not about it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let you know in a different type of way.
And the tone in that song.
That- right.
It's not like I'm not cheating. You know, you're not being disrespectful or this
Right.
or anything. It's an endearment thing. It's like a, hey,
Exactly,
come here,
exactly,
let me talk to you.
exactly,
Like,
exactly. It's like, but I still had to let her know. It's like, oh, and you make me feel so bad. Now you look, now
Yeah.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
it's like, and I would tell her, I was like, yo, you really think I got it like that? You really think I got girls like that? Like,
Hey, man. Like,
I don't.
like my girlfriend, and we've known each other for 5 years, and we've been on and off and stuff, but we just made a year in January. But
Congratulations.
she's that, yeah, thank you. And she's that way too. We're walking down, and maybe I'm exposing myself here, but we're walking down the street or whatever. She'll just be like, "Don't look,"
Oh.
and then I can't look. I mean, I'm not, if I do it, whatever, but I'll look away, whatever. But it's like, I feel like us men, we have like our brains just wired that way.
Could be.
Where it's like let's say you're at Publix, right? You got to get eggs and milk or something, or ice cream, and you just, it happens to me sometimes as a guy. Like, I'll just look down the hall or whatever, and it's just pure instinct, I just look and there's a pretty girl there. It just happens.
I mean,
maybe we're wired.
I'll go beyond that and say,
Yeah.
what is it that my cousin said in Spanish? He said, "Los ojos son intrusos," and I'll go more with that because, bro, you ain't gonna tell me that like if you're with your girl and like a fucking stud walks by, first of all, you're just gonna look because there is something, like there is a thing there, and then you're like, oh wow, it's an attractive person. Your stare might linger for half a second. That doesn't necessarily mean that you want to go fucking jump their bones.
Yeah.
You
true.
know, like.
True.
Like, first of all, I have really bad ADHD. Anything new
Facts.
comes into my line of
Me
sight,
too.
and I have to look at it for a second and I identify it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I identify a nice booty. You feel me? But it doesn't mean that I'm gonna go and be like, oh, what's up? Like,
Right, or like you're gonna leave your girl
Right,
for this
right,
one
right.
whim, this one look, or whatever.
right? I think there's always like respectful bounds that you
Okay.
have to like be within. Like, that doesn't mean that I'm like, oh, there's a person right there and she's attractive, like, right? Like, it's not that.
Yeah. Although
But
I know some people like that.
I do too. But sometimes like you're with your chick or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just the subtle beam is already like, oye,
¿Qué tú estás mirando?
¿qué tú estás
What are you
mirando,
doing?
brother?
What are you
And so going back to the track is all about that. It's like, yeah, like you think all these things, but let me tell you, I'm right here and I'm for you.
doing?
And then it goes into that that shit's groovy as fuck, huh?
Like, yeah, and you had mentioned a little bit earlier that, like, so these songs in this project, they were just songs you were like, you know what, I'm not having any luck. I mean,
Usual Suspect is different. Usual
Oh,
Suspect
okay,
is
okay,
the
okay.
exception there. Usual Suspect
there was an idea there.
Compendium,
definitely
the
before.
track Compendium, the first track, which is Gene, the intro, and the last track, which is Blue. Gene is actually mostly produced by Roger. I just did a lot of the extra shit and I made it come together.
Cool.
But he sent me the main things for that. But Usual Suspect, I had already written that. I had already written that.
That's why
but I didn't have verses.
Singer-songwriter at the
I didn't
beginning,
have
that's why.
verses. And I was like,
Okay,
damn.
okay.
Because basically what I had, like, what is the chorus of the song was the verse that I had.
Okay.
So when I showed it to Roger liked that shit, and I was like, damn, you dropped the verses. And then we added it as the single for the project, and we both were like, yo, that has to be the single. And hands down, it's the one that people like the most.
Well, what I was initially going was like, you have this collection of music where you're unsure of, or like you're trying to put it out there and just doesn't seem to, gravitate towards an artist where they could write or whatever.
Right.
And then like one day it's like it just comes together.
Dude, exactly. It just happened, and I'm not particularly religious, but my boy Roger is, and bro, like he would say, it's like fucking God brought us together, just like that, and he made that shit happen, bro. Because honestly, the way that it happened, it was flawlessly, bro. I think the whole preparation for the album, mixing and dropping it, we did it like within a month, the whole thing.
Oh wow.
Maybe less.
That's great.
Maybe less.
That's
And
awesome.
like we were like, yo, we kind of shooting ourselves in the foot, but fuck it. It was really worth it. I learned a lot, just like being under the pressure of like having to put it out at a certain time. Like I learned a lot from it.
And now you are in a band, Los Poderes. Am I saying that right?
Los Poderes.
Poderes?
Yeah, Los Poderes is Jeanette.
Okay.
Jeanette, the actress, is Igor. You know Igor?
Igor, yeah.
Ale TCA,
Yeah, I know
and
Ale.
myself. Los Poderes came out of this idea of, first of all, just to be able to play together and do things together, but it was like an improv show with music in between scenes and music throughout the scenes, right? And like that was my task. Everybody, like Los Poderes is because everybody has their own specific little forte, you get me? And mine was like with Ableton and shit, like I made like a soundboard, and like let's say y alguien tocó la puerta, I would trigger the stampo. You get me?
Right.
Things like that, gunshots or whatever the fuck it may
Right.
be. And then I would also play during the cutscenes, and we would do like songs from each other. We would do covers, and we would all learn each other's songs and play them out. And we were doing that here at Kava every Thursday, but you know, not everything always works out. Some things fall through, and it did with the show. So we're not really. You can say it's a band, but we're not really a band. Porque tampoco we're not like rehearsing all the time now.
Right.
And we're not like staying on point and learning repertoire.
Right. Like there's no set schedule or anything.
No. There's no set schedule. Like, but if somebody's like, oh, we have a show with y'all, do we want to do it? Fuck it, we'll do it as Los Poderes.
Let me know, man. I'll pull through and get some shots and stuff of that, because I haven't checked you guys out. Like your sound.
Really? I could have sworn you came to one of the shows.
I know I did. I think for oh no, you know what? You're right. Wasn't I think Pablo's show? You and Ale did perform.
We did.
But no, I don't think that was Los Poderes. I don't think it was like.
And
the
then we
group.
headlined one night as Los Poderes.
I don't think I was there.
For the open mic.
Because I do remember. I think it was more like Pablo's show that I might have gone, because you were performing with Igor and Ale, but I don't think
that was
Jeanette,
a night.
right?
That was a night. No, Jeanette wasn't there. That was a night that we kind of like came together, because I have music with all three of them. I have music.
You're dropping soon, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm dropping super soon. I'm dropping March 29th is the first single of the album.
Okay.
It's called Bet Alone, and it's featuring Igor Centrism on IG. It's a super groovy dance track. So I have songs with Pablo now. I have songs with Igor, with Ale, and the whole thing was like we'll go back to back. And basically I played like 5 songs, because I was just involved with all that shit.
Yeah.
And that was fun. That was actually my first night. Like, I'm new to the whole like performing my songs, like my rap songs and like my music live. Like, I was more on like being on Ableton and performing my electronic music, or like my beats, and like just like playing with my beats and
like
shit.
I've seen at the spot. We've seen each other.
Right, like at the spot. But
yeah.
now I'm more like, I have actual like songs, and now it's like performing that shit and getting that's like a new experience that I'm having now.
Okay.
Like, I'm looking at your fucking towels anyway. Shut the fuck up. So yeah, new music's coming really soon. The album hopefully it drops either May 1st or May 17th.
By the way, you lied actually.
I lied?
On the description of the Lazy Eye EP.
Why did I lie? What did I write?
In the description, you wrote, if I could find it. Now it's awkward.
You can't call me a liar and
I
then
can't
not come
call
through.
you a liar and then
not come through with the truth. What's up?
And I got like maybe like one more question. Yeah, you believe this guy? You bring a guest here?
Get out of here.
No, but you said like it was self-produced. You played all the instruments, and it was all put together by a very, I think the word, it's escaping me. Oh, you know what? I have a screenshot. What are we doing
got a
here?
screenshot, yeah.
What are we doing here?
Never get interviewed by G, bro. He's gonna take
And
your shit
I'll
out
give
there.
you 50, 40 plays. You know, I'll bother you. But so the quote was, it was mixed by a shockingly lame individual.
That's me.
So I wanted to let you know you lied about that.
Oh, what's up? I appreciate
you ain't
that.
lame, bro.
I appreciate that. Thank you,
ain't
thank
lame.
you.
And you ain't lazy either. You're putting work together and yeah,
I
bro.
work in spurts, bro. I can be shockingly lazy. Shockingly lazy, bro.
The last question: what kind of advice would you give to somebody maybe in a similar position? You know, like when you were earlier into your career, you know, like or maybe somebody who's just unsure. They haven't really taken that
Unsure about what?
step forward in their music, in their mixing, in their songwriting,
Bro,
like the things that you do. You know what I'm saying?
I guess one point that I can start with is that first of all, it's gonna be a constant struggle. And if you're like, if shit becomes too easy, then you're not really making those strides to like, bro, it's you're constantly, at least for me, I'm trying to like push it a little bit, get a little bit better, and like I'm afforded some resistance back in like my art, my creativity. So first and foremost, it's a struggle. It's a struggle, and that's across the board for any creative. And you know, you can ask a dancer, a painter, sculptor, they can relate to this shit. Like, yeah, it's like being an artist is a fucking constant struggle with yourself, with how are people gonna feel about this, you know, because when we put shit out, bro, like we're exposing ourselves. It's basically like you're exposing yourself to people, and like, yeah, like a lot of people might feel like I don't really give a fuck because firstly I do music for me, but yes, you kind of do give a fuck. Specifically, like if you're performing it and you're putting it out, like you still want people to like your stuff, bro. You know, like I'm not a noise artist, like.
I get you. Yeah.
I'm not doing noise, like I'm doing music, and hopefully, the way I felt when I created the music, I can invoke some sort of feeling like that and compel people to feel some type of way, right? Because, like, I lost my train of thought for a second. I said I would give people. So, firstly, like, avoid like the whole fallacy of like it has to be perfect.
Okay.
Dude, there's no such thing, because you could probably, Jesus has this track, he's like, yo, ta de pinga, it's the best, and then here comes Lazy, he's like, yo, a track is foo-foo, dog.
Yeah.
And then that's like the whole fallacy of perfection. You're never gonna have a perfect track.
Fallacy of
Learn
perfection.
to get it as best as you can. Let it go, and on to the next one, right? Another thing, like, sort of like be consistent with your music, which is not what I do, sort of. Like I'll spend like a month where I'll make music every day, but then I'll spend like 3 months where I don't make a track. Like, it's better to make like a few tracks a month consistently than to make 30 tracks in a month and then don't make any. You know, it's still good, you're still making hell of a fucking progress, but consistency.
Right, like don't force it, but put the work behind it.
Don't force it, but put the work behind it, right? Like, even if you're not really necessarily inspired, sometimes you find inspiration while you work, right?
Okay.
You feel me? Like, sometimes I'm like, fuck, I don't really want to produce, but I'm like, I'll give it a try, and then I'll pick up this synth, and then I'm like, whoa, wait, and then you get like this flood of just inspiration. There's that one. There's also, I would say, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, and just know that if you made a shitty track, or at least that you think is shitty, somebody might like it, but get the fuck over it. Continue. You're gonna make bad shit. What's like the odds that they say it's like one out of 20 tracks you make is gonna be decent?
Right. Well, I think I was actually watching another different interview. It was Drake. I forgot who was interviewing him, but he was talking about the rule of like basically 10,000 hours. Like,
that's the mastery rule.
You really gotta like put in the 10,000 hours until you master something, right? And in that 10,000 whatever, at least first couple hundred hours, 500 hours or whatever, there's gonna be some crap. It's almost like emptying like a pipe. Like, you really have to let the water run and
Yo,
sometimes it
you
might be
absolutely,
murky, but
you absolutely have to. You have to go, bro. And I've always felt this way. You have to go through all the fucking basic rocks and the dirt to find a fucking nice precious stone.
Right.
You know, and it's like little by little, little by little. But eventually, when you do find that stone, man, it's fucking worth it. And that's why, like, you see people, when somebody that's professional is gonna make an album that's like 10 tracks, they have about 35 tracks, 40 tracks, and then they filter that shit out and put la creme, you know.
it's true.
So definitely, like, avoid perfection. Doesn't exist. Don't be so harsh on yourself. Be consistent in some things, and do it because you love it, not because it's hip. Because now it's super hip.
That's true.
Now it's hip to do music, and it's easy. Anybody can do it, which is great, because you're finding a lot of awesome art that, you know, otherwise wouldn't have existed, because now we can all basically we all run with a studio on our phone. Like, I started producing on GarageBand on my phone. Like, anybody can do it, but do it because you love that shit. And I promise you, if you do it that way, and you're consistent, and you kind of follow those other little tips that I say, I think fucking eventually you might make some fire shit. You might not. I don't fucking know.
Dropping gems.
Yeah, bro. I charge for this.
Don't charge me.
Yeah, but ask me if I follow my own advice.
Oh, that's true. I mean, that's the duality of man, right? But I think you've definitely got some gems on the way. Again, remind us, when are you dropping? You're dropping.
So
some
March
singles?
29th, it's Bet Alone,
Okay.
featuring Igor.
Okay.
El Igor Centrism on IG. April 29th, hopefully, I'm dropping the second single, which is called Some Views. That is entirely me, produced, sing by me, rap by me.
Okay.
And then hopefully May 17, I drop the whole project. The whole album is called Better Alone. And it's a mixture of like some danceable tracks.
Awesome.
I'm rapping in English and Spanish. I'm
Okay.
doing some singing. I produced about like 98% of everything there. I've had some help from some really good friends of mine. And it's kind of a breakup album. My relationship went to shit during quarantine, and I think I'm gonna write something about it to give it context, bro, because it's a really interesting story. But basically, the cover of the album is a Polaroid that my ex burnt. And the moment I saw it, I was like, and she wrote Better Alone on it. So I have to credit her with the title for the album. The moment I saw that shit, I was like, oof, you fucked up. I'm going to make this an album cover. Because that's what artists do, bro.
That's true.
We do art about our fucking lovers and shit, about harsh experiences.
Yeah, we put our feelings, our thoughts, everything.
At least
life onto
a lot of us do. And bro, all the music that I make, I can't make music if it's not connected to something that happened in my life. Like, I can't sit there and make if I was like strictly a rapper, I couldn't rap about having bitches and getting money if I'm not having bitches and getting money. You feel me? Like,
yeah, I wake up in the morning and that's not my life. I wake up in the morning and I think about bills. Like,
right.
I gotta talk about
I'm in the cut.
my life. Right? Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Dude, thank you for fucking interviewing me. The time flew.
Yeah, no, it always does. Every episode it does. Big thank you to Roots Miami Kava.
Yo, big thank you to Roots, Kratom, Kava, Matcha.
Yep.
They even got them fire pizza empanadas.
That's right.
Those shits are fire.
That's right.
Come down here. What's this? 4400 Northwest 2nd Ave?
That's correct.
There you go. Slide down to Roots of Kava, guys.
Yeah, they got open mics every Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
7 p.m. Thursday night tonight is ladies' night, and I think they have like BOGO, like buy one get one free, like deals and stuff for the
Yeah, man.
drinks
Super
and
dope
stuff
spot.
like
You come hang out, kick it in the back inside. It's
Yeah.
super chill. Bro, I really want to thank you for reaching out to me and giving me this opportunity, man. I'm honestly really impressed because you're really prepared.
Oh.
You really fucking did your homework.
Yeah.
Dude, you brought up some shit I didn't remember myself. I was like, what are you talking?
Nardwuar, you know.
I was about to say that. I was
I
like,
love Nardwuar.
how you know that? How you know that?
Yeah, but I won't. I'm not a Fed. I think he's like the Fed.
Dude, he's crazy. But man, again, thank you. And honestly, I would love to do this shit again.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
For
know,
sure, bro.
like I said, the time flew by way too fast.
Way too fast.
We should do this again. But all right. So I guess that's Lazy Eye signing out.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right, guys.
Much
Peace
love.
out. Have a good night.